You're listening to an Airwave Media podcast.
We took it all. We brought them to our land. An endless night, ember hot and icy cold. The rage of the earth. We made this curse. Carved it in the blood on our backs. We did not see. We could not, but she did. And in the end...
What will I become?
Senua's Saga. Hellblade 2.
Play it now with Game Pass.
Recorded in Chicago, Illinois, with your hosts, Ken, Matt, Neil, and Jeff. This is Triviality.
Hello and welcome to Triviality, the game where a lack of seriousness meets a little bit of knowledge. My name is Neil, and this is the second episode of our Psych bonus. I'm here with Ken and Jeff. How are you both?
What's up? Feeling good?
Awesome. Well, we had a great time. The last episode we did a bonus episode of Psych. So
Since then, I've watched all the episodes.
You watched all of the episodes. And what's your favorite?
The one that...
You can just describe it.
The one with Gus and the other guy.
Oh, yeah, that's a great one. Well, I'm glad that you got a chance to watch all those episodes. If this is the first time you're hearing this episode, or this show, I should say, for that matter, you probably want to go back to the first Psych episode, and also know that this is just a bonus. So our normal episodes come out every Tuesday. They're about an hour, about 35 general knowledge questions. So if you're just looking for regular trivia today and not niche categories, just find an episode with a number in the beginning, and you'll be on the right track. But this is for fans of Psych or those who want to learn more about Psych for trivia. And we're super excited to have our friend and listener coming back to host, just like he did in the first episode. Currently in Utah, Oakland 5 supporter on Patreon, Collin Meldrum. How are you, Collin?
I'm doing swell.
Well, thank you very much for returning, for putting all these questions together. What can you say about yourself, and then what happened last episode? How are you feeling today?
I'm a college student here in Utah, go to BYU. I'm feeling pretty good. Didn't realize these were as hard as I found them to be. These ones are a little different, I think. So we'll see how it goes.
Yep, Collin is a taskmaster, so a lot of them were very hard, but they're fun questions. And segueing into the questions, the person who won the first round of Psych questions was our friend Kellyn Maguire, coming to us from Parts Unknown, Savage Superstar on Patreon. How are you, Kellyn?
I'm good, thanks.
You're welcome. And you did a wonderful job on the first episode. You were one of the few people that we've ever had, I think, on a bonus who didn't miss a question. So you really love Psych, is what's apparent. Tell us a little bit about yourself and maybe what your favorite episode is.
Cool. I don't know. I can't remember what I said last time about myself, but I'm a fan of Triviality and of Psych, and I don't know what else to say, so I'll just say that one of my favorite episodes, I said American Duos last time, so this time I'll go with High Top Fade Out.
Ooh, great.
And I won't say anything else about it, and I don't know if there's questions about it. I don't want to ruin anything, but that's like a very top episode for me.
Well, great choice. Well, thank you for joining us, and we have two brand new competitors that we're super excited to introduce. Our first competitor is coming to us from Michigan, wearing a nice big gold M. I don't know if it's yellow or gold. I'll have him correct us because that's a Michigan thing on his sweater. Savage Superstar on Patreon. Mark McKinzie, how are you, Mark?
Doing good. It's actually a maize M for the maize and blue.
Ooh, thank you. We needed that correction. It is a trivia podcast. We have to be correct here. Maize.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Got to be pedantic.
Yeah, that's right. Tell us a little bit about yourself and maybe what your favorite Psych episode is, if you have one.
Let's see. I'll start with a favorite episode. Shaun and Gus of the Dead. Really love that one. The mummy horror mixed with just hilarity. So I love that one a lot. And some fun nicknames for Gus, which is always good. And then I just love listening to your guys' show and then traveling around doing pub trivia wherever happens to have it that night. So,
well, thank you for repping the show. And as you've told us, you're in a hotel room. You rented exclusively just to be on the show today, which is dedication. We appreciate it. Last episode, someone got an ACL and MCL surgery just to watch Psych, to be on the show. You rented a hotel room. We really appreciate all of our fans going the extra mile. So thank you. And let's introduce our final competitor. Super excited. Also coming to us from Utah today. And that is Courtney Green. How are you, Courtney?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing well. We heard it's your day off today. We're sure you watched a lot of Psych today, hopefully. But tell us a little bit about yourself and maybe what your favorite Psych episode is.
Nothing too much to tell. I'm just an operations supervisor for a furniture company. And my favorite Psych episode is Not Even Close Encounters, where Gus and Sean deal with basically just kind of like alien abduction type stuff.
Well, thank you, everyone, for joining us today. We're super excited to have you, and for everyone listening at home. Let's get right into our second bonus of Psych. And it looks like our order today is going to be Mark, Courtney, and then Kellyn. So, Collin, feel free to take it away.
All right. So for round 1 on season 1. So for Mark, in From the Earth to Starbucks, Sean tells Gus about his recurring dream in which he's flying over Auckland on a swan named Clem, made primarily of what substance?
That substance would be cocoa.
It would be cocoa. Good job. And then for Courtney, in He Loves Me, He Loves Me Not, He Loves Me, Oops, He's Dead, Marvin, the leprechaun, greets each guest with Welcome to Shenanigans, home of what world-famous food item?
I'm going to tap on that one. Shoot.
That's the world-famous Blarney Stone fajitas. Doesn't that sound appetizing?
It does. Not a good way to start out the round.
Oh, that's okay. A lot of questions.
All right. And then for Kellyn. Sean and Gus somehow get lost in a garden store hedge maze in Poker, I Barely Know Her. Luckily, they have directions written on the back of a card. What are those directions?
Okay. This is actually the first episode of the show I ever saw. That's my little nostalgia thing. It's either RRL RLL or RLL RRL. I'm trying to remember how, because Sean goes like rule, and I think I'm gonna lock in with RRL RLL.
That is correct.
That's insane.
Well done.
Great point.
This is like it's a pivotal episode for me.
That's a good one. All right, moving on to season 2 for Mark. Juliet doesn't like liars who steal nail polish and then pass out when you slap them a little bit on the back of the head. This very specific pet peeve shows up in American Duos as the reason Jules was kicked out of where?
I'm not sure on that, but I know she's Sean and Gus's dance instructor in that episode, so I'll say dance school.
It's cheerleading camp.
Half a point, maybe?
Sure, you were close. Half a point. I'm generous. And then for Courtney. Towards the end of Psy vs. Psy, Sean and Gus are talking to the stenographer, Mildred. As they are about to leave, Gus hands her a piece of paper and tells Mildred to read it. What does the paper say?
Gosh, I don't know. I'm going to have to tap on that too. Shoot.
It's all right. It's shotgun. And then for Kellyn. In Meat is Murder, but Murder is also Murder, Sean reveals that the killer needed a fall guy, but this actor wasn't available. Although apparently he was available and lives in town.
Wow. I don't think I know that off of the episode, but I know Rob Lowe lives in Santa Barbara. So I'm just going to go with Rob Lowe. This might be my first loss. Yeah, I'll go with Rob Lowe.
Well, first wrong answer of the day. It's Lee Majors.
Oh, sure. I don't know. Oh, man.
That's a hard one.
It was. Good question, though.
All right, round 3, season 3. Back to Mark. Who does Sean describe as a tiny little dollop of a woman in the season 3 premiere?
Oh, man. Okay, season 3 premiere is ghosts. So I think that might be the I don't remember the name, but I think it's the housekeeper for, I don't remember the Gus's boss's name either, but he's Shooter McGavin. Don't know the name, so I'll just go with Gus's boss's housekeeper.
Gus's boss's housekeeper is an acceptable answer. Her name's Hedwig.
Oh man, I was not going to pull that name.
Yes, but you get a point for the housekeeper.
The fact you got Gus's boss's housekeeper is pretty good.
That's a nice pull. All right, for Courtney. In the episode Gus Walks into a Bank, Sean adds this item to the list of the robber's demands, and at the end of the episode has apparently installed one in the office. What is this contraption?
Is it the zip line for the hot dog?
Yes, it is a zipline snack delivery system.
There you go. Nice pull.
Point for that. And then on to Kellyn. Where does Gus learn the hovering technique for massages that he uses in Any Given Night at 10 p.m., 9 p.m. Central?
I'm trying to run the scene in my head. And I'm not pulling it. I have to tap.
Wow.
I don't know.
He learns it from monks in Cambodia.
Oh, yeah. I actually do remember that.
Little score recap. After 3, we have Kellyn and Courtney tied at 1, and Mark in the lead with 2.5.
Wow. All right, moving on to season 4. For Mark, how does Sean convince Ed, the deputy commissioner of the Vancouver RCMP, that he's a psychic?
Okay. So Gus is very adamant not to use this trick, as Sean sees a giant Happy Birthday Ed banner behind him. So Sean says that it's his birthday today.
That is correct. He knows it's his birthday. Good job. And for Courtney, in Sean Gets the Yips, the boys mistake a motivational note Jules leaves on a water bottle as a bomb threat. What does the note say?
I think it just says keep going, or oh gosh. Yeah, I'm just going to go with keep going. Ugh.
It's if your heart rate drops below 150, you die.
That's right.
So Sean stars in the elliptical version of Speed. And then for Kellyn, what is the name of the virus in Death is in the Air? It's based on a real disease found mainly in Africa, which Gus claims is racist.
It is Thornburg, and if you're to look at my TV right now, that's the episode I was watching just before we started recording. So.
It is the Thornburg virus. Well done. All right. On to season 5. For Mark, in Romeo and Juliet, after firing their assistant Ken, Sean and Gus go to his house for information regarding the triads. They also ask him to explain the ending to what film?
That's Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon?
It is indeed. For Courtney, in Sean and Gus in Drag Racing, Sean tries to get Lassiter to punch him to maintain his cover, and goads him into it by insulting what president?
I'm going to go with Reagan.
It is Ronald Reagan. Nice job. And then Kellyn, towards the beginning of Yang 3 and 2D, McNabb solves what is possibly the easiest crossword puzzle of all time. What 2 clues does McNabb solve?
A good man is hard to find, me, myself, and I.
That's correct.
After 5 questions, it looks like the scores are Courtney with 2, Kellyn with 3, and in the lead, Mark with 4.5.
Tense game. All right, let's keep it up with season 6. In This Episode Sucks, Sean and Gus dress up as vampires. Who does Gus actually dress up as, but who does everyone think he's dressed as?
So he is dressed up as Blackula, and Sean tells him that nobody remembers that except for them. And everyone thinks he is the much more famous cereal mascot, Count Chocula.
That is right. Love the flavor text you give, Mark. It's very nice. I don't have to do any work. All right. For Courtney, In Sean Interrupted, Gus becomes enamored with Vivian, a patient at the mental hospital where the boys are undercover. She suffers from multiple personality disorder and sometimes thinks she's a plumber named Frank. What war did Frank claim to serve in?
Let's just go with Vietnam.
It's the Gulf War. And then for Kellyn, what is the name of the hyperactive blonde Henry picks up in Neil Simon's Lover's Retreat?
It's like Tiffany or something. And then she comes back again, so I should know this better. Man, I'm not pulling it. I'm going to just have to stick with Tiffany.
Tiffany would be a good one, but it's Chelsea.
Chelsea! Oh, I'm letting myself down.
All right. Moving on to Season 7. From Mark, what is Buzz McNabb's stripper name in the episode D's Nuts?
I definitely want to hear the story behind how he got it. It is Morning Wood.
That's correct. Courtney, in The Santa Barbarian Candidate, Sean gives 2 suggestions for a new city slogan. Can you name one of them?
Santa Barbara, beaches on beaches. I don't know.
All right. It's stop for a pee, stay for a lifetime, and this is where Rob Lowe humps it out.
I should have remembered that better.
No, that's okay. That's a hard one.
That is a hard one. And then for Kellyn, in No Trout About It, Sean expresses his suspicion of the stupidly hot Latina married to someone who resembles this vacation company mascot.
The Travelocity gnome.
That is correct.
We'll do a little break for a score recap here. And looks like we have Courtney with 2, Kellyn with 4, and Mark with 6.5. So still a tight game. Yeah, let's continue. I mean, it's getting to the wire here, though.
We took it all. We brought them to our land. An endless night, ember hot and icy cold. The rage of the earth. We made this curse. Carved it in the blood on our backs. We did not see. We could not, but she did. And in the end...
What will I become? Senua's Saga. Hellblade 2.
Play it now with Game Pass.
On to Season 8. For Mark, what is Gus's criminal name in Lock, Stock, Some Smoking Barrels, and Burton Guster's Goblet of Fire?
I think since he is very excited about going to PotterCon, that he's the wizard.
Is that what you're going with?
I'll go with that, yeah.
That is correct. The wizard. And for Courtney, what does the S in C's stand for?
I'm going to go with shoot 'em up.
It stands for C's.
Oh, gosh.
For Kellyn, in the final episode, The Breakup, Sean sends a goodbye video to this character who has often been mentioned but never appeared on screen. As it turns out, it's actually been Val Kilmer the whole time.
That's Dobson.
That is Officer Dobson, yes. And then there is no Season 9, so this one's just a grab bag. For Mark, Woody has mentioned a few times how unfaithful his wife has been. How many times has Woody's wife cheated on him?
She has cheated on him 12 times with 10 men.
That is correct. 12 times with 10 men. And then for Courtney, according to Gus in the pilot, how many jobs has Sean had since high school? I will give you a range of 4.
57.
Right on the money, 57.
Nice poll.
And then for Kellyn, what kind of car is the Blueberry?
That is an Echo.
Yes, Toyota Echo, or the Yaris.
Yeah, because the Canadian one is a little different, I guess.
All right, final round. We're doing the same thing as last time, so I will give each contestant an episode title, and you get to choose if you would like a normal or extra hard question based on how familiar you are with the episode.
And I can do a little score recap here before, if that's okay, Collin.
Yes.
For the listeners at home, looks like we have Courtney at 3, Kellyn at 6, and Mark at 8.5. So choose wisely if you want the hard one for extra points or the normal one.
Yes, and I did forget to mention hard one is worth 2 points. So, for Mark, your episode is Chivalry Isn't Dead, but Someone Is. Would you like the normal or hard one?
I'll go with the normal question.
Normal. All right. What is the name of the significantly older woman who Sean charms and takes on a double date?
Maybe I should have chosen the hard question because I don't think I know this one. I'm going to shoot with Janie.
Oh, that was close. It's Jillian.
Jillian.
Tucker.
Yeah.
Got the J sound. For Courtney, you can't handle this episode.
We'll just go with the normal.
What nickname does Sean give Gus while trying to access the military base? It is later referenced by Walter Snowden in Think Tank.
I'm going to go with Maverick.
Good guess. It's Guy Buttersnaps, a.k.a. The Heater. And then Kellyn gets Sean rescues Darth Vader.
I might as well. All in. I'll do the extra hard
All right. When shown the picture of himself climbing the stairs, Sean denies it's him by saying that the hair on the man pictured has a counterclockwise trend to it, while his always grew in what way?
I won't waste time because it's not going to come if it hasn't already. I'll just say like figure 8.
Figure 8. No, his grows northern hemisphere.
Thank you. All right.
Well, after the 30 questions here, the final scores are Courtney with 3, Kellyn with 6, and today's champion, Mark, with 8.5. Well done, everyone. Great job. And now, what questions did you have left over? You just had the one hard one that Courtney didn't choose, and then the one hard one Mark didn't choose, right? And the normal one. Just want to just throw those out for the whole group, just to finish up here?
So for Mark's hard one, while in the throes of being barely poisoned, Sean asks Gus to get a Great Dane and name him what?
Doesn't know.
Doesn't know it.
It's the one thing he doesn't know.
It's Lothar.
Lothar, classic.
Classic. And then for Courtney's hard one, we've got what's Ewan O'Hara's code name used by the mysterious man who calls him multiple times during You Can't Handle This episode?
Oh, I got nothing.
That's a hard one.
Is it like 4 or something? Using 4, something like that.
It's very close. It's Alpha 4.
Alpha 4.
And then I guess we got Kellyn's normal question. When testing the lie detector on Juliet, Lester asks for her name and then 2 similar but different questions. What are they?
I don't know. This is not an episode
Kellyn's
I've
favorite
seen very
episode,
often.
huh?
It's not. Which
Wow.
is Malcolm McDowell's in it, so like cool pull. But this was never one that I was a big fan of. I didn't rewatch it as much, so I got nothing.
What do you got?
Anyone else got anything on this? No?
It's like, is she dating someone or does she have a boyfriend or something like that?
Yeah, because he's trying to figure out if he's trying to get her to admit that she's dating Sean, but I just don't remember what he.
Go ahead, Collin. What is it?
Yeah, it's are you currently dating anyone? And then are you currently or have you ever been in a relationship with anyone at the station?
There you go. Well, so nice having all of you here. You all performed wonderfully. And just for the listeners at home, so for Courtney and Mark, who weren't on the last episode, Kellyn did not miss a question in the last episode. And Mark, you only missed 1 question the entire game. So congratulations to both of you.
1.5.
1.5. Well, that's true. That's true. 1.5.
That was a bonus.
So it seems like Kellyn and Mark, you're gonna have to have like a psych duo and
Meeting
go play
of the minds.
Yeah, meeting of the minds. Then go play trivia and try to win money together or something, and then give us like 10%. But yeah, it sounds like it'll be fun.
You're trying to source a finder's fee now for setting people up for trivia.
Well, we're gonna be their agent, and then they can do it. And then Courtney can join you and our other great competitors we had too, Micah and Joe. But
so everybody, give us your best. Show me the money. No, just kidding.
So let's start with Courtney. So nice to have you here. A pleasure to meet you and share your love of Psych together. Any final words, any shout outs, anyone you'd like to say hello to?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you for letting me join on the episode today. I really enjoy Psych. I just apparently don't know as much as I thought I did. So thank you guys very much. And yeah, look forward to listening to you more.
Well, thank you. And these bonus episodes are always so hard because a lot of them are very difficult questions. Kellyn, always a pleasure to see you. You did a great job in the last episode, and you still did a great job in this one too, but just came up a little short today. But any words for anyone, especially Jeff and Ken, to make sure they watch the show? Anything else you'd like to say? Floor is yours.
Great games, Collin. Great questions. And great playing with you, Courtney and Mark, both. Actually, Ken and Jeff, we talked about the chivalry isn't dead, but someone is. That might be a good one for you to start with because you might recognize someone from Letterkenny in that episode.
Is it Bonnie McMurray? No.
But and Gene Smart is in it too, and I can't. The name of the guy that plays the. This isn't important, but I think you should watch the show and report back.
Okay. All right. And Mark, our champion today, how are you feeling? Any shout outs? Anything you'd like to say to anyone? Call out anyone? All that good stuff?
Feeling great. I was worried coming in that I wouldn't know any of this, but it seems like I acquitted myself pretty well. Shout out to my girlfriend who, though she does sometimes crack under the trivia pressure, always supports me. And then my buddies Chris and Eric, who played a lot of trivia with in college. So
nice.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining us. And Collin, one last thank you to you for putting all these questions together. Anyone else you'd like to shout out as far as submitting questions or play testing, all that good stuff?
Yeah, shout out to Kellyn. I used a lot of her questions in this game.
He didn't ask me any of them, though.
I did not ask her
any of them. It's a clean game.
But that was very helpful. I was a little stressed out. But it was a lot of fun. If you haven't watched Psych, I would highly recommend it. It's a great show.
So thank you, Mark, Courtney, and Kellyn for joining us today, and Collin for writing all of the questions along with some of our playtesters and other question submitters. Just wanted to mention we are on the Airwave Media Network, so if you want to go check out a bunch of their cool shows over at airwavemedia.com, you can check out some shows like All Creatures.
How about Ancient History Fangirl?
Well, that sounds like a really good one. And then maybe History Tea Time with Lindsay Holiday, spilling the tea on history. That's a great tagline for that show. So check out some of those shows along with ours, and hopefully you'll enjoy them just as much as our show. But for Matt, who isn't here, and Jeff and Ken, we're going to check out the show now. My name is Neil, and that was Triviality.